We can talk all day about that. Oh. I know this is a great thing. Look at you, look at my books. It's gotta be a great thing. I barely like money.
Good morning. I am Mary Kay Bean. I serve as Public Information Officer for the Michigan Gaming Control Board. Before our meeting begins, I would like to review some information for those joining us virtually on Zoom. The slides include information on how to adjust audio, turn on closed captioning, and comment on an agenda item or during the public comment portion of the meeting. For audio settings and closed captioning, you can access your audio settings and test your audio when you are in a meeting. In meeting controls, click the arrow next to mute, unmute. Click audio options to open your audio settings. For closed captioning, in the navigation panel, click closed caption to start viewing. The provided subtitles may be clicked and dragged to move their position in the meeting window. To adjust the caption size, click the up arrow next to Start Video, Stop Video. Click Video Settings, then Accessibility. Move the slide to adjust the caption size. To comment on an agenda item, if a business representative or an individual needs to address the board about a particular agenda item, please enter your name and telephone number in the Q&A box on the Zoom screen when the agenda item is introduced. You will receive a telephone call from area code 248, which will allow you to speak. The chairperson will request comments when it is time to speak. For the public comment portion participation, for Zoom participants, select Q&A at the bottom of the screen. Type your name and phone number in the compose box and then select Send. You will receive a call from the 248 area code and will be placed in the queue to speak. You also may type a question in the compose box to be read aloud. For the meeting agenda, see the chat section for a link or visit About MGCB, Board Meetings, Schedule and Agenda page on the agency's website. And now I would like to introduce Ms. Linda Forte, Chairperson of the Michigan Gaming Control Board, who will open the meeting. Ms. Forte.
Thank you, Ms. Bean. I'd like to call to order the meeting and note that all board members are present for today's meeting. So we have a quorum to proceed with today's meeting to decide various matters that are listed in the agenda. There will be an opportunity for public comment later in the agenda after the business portion is completed. Anyone wishing to address the board must fill out a request form, which is available at the reception table outside the hearing room entrance. So the first item of business is to consider approval of the minutes of the board's regular public meeting held February 15, 2022. Board members have been provided with a copy of the prepared minutes of the board's last public meeting held on February 15, 2022 for review prior to today's meeting. Do members have any corrections, additions, or deletions to the prepared minutes? Seeing none, Board Member Palms, could we please have a motion to adopt the prepared minutes?
So moved.
Is there support?
Support.
Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion is approved. And we'll now move into the Executive Director's report. Mr. Williams?
Good morning, board members. Good morning to all the public and staff. Since the board's last regular public meeting, the following notable board-related activities and events have occurred. Staffing. MGCB has hired 9 new employees and 1 employee resigned their position. The Gaming Control Board currently has 152 employees and 18 vacant positions. Ongoing efforts to fill the board's 18 positions will continue until all positions are filled. Since February 15, 2022, one employee has been promoted. Janice Wilson has been promoted to Regulation Officer 12 in the Enforcement Section. Non-FTE impact new hires include 2 new student assistants, Shatera Collins and Kyra Lee, and 1 racing steward, Herman Elliott. A roster of the board's current staff, including the state police and attorney general staff, assigned to assist the board in carrying out its statutory duties and responsibilities under the Michigan Gaming Control and Revenue Act, are included in your packet for your reference as Attachment 1. Budget. As of March 31st, 2022, total expenditures were $13,391,491, leaving an unexpended balance of $21,569,305 in appropriated funding for fiscal year 2022. This includes funds for anticipated reimbursement to the Attorney General and State Police for requested assistance pursuant to the Act. Operations and revenue, and I will provide you with a snapshot. All 3 licensed Detroit casinos have continued to operate on a 24-hour, 7 days a week basis since the board's last public meeting. Board regulation officers, assisted by the State Police Gaming Section officers, monitor the casino operations for compliance with the requirements of the Act, the board's administrative rules, and the casino's own internal controls. February 2022 and March 2022. All revenue and wagering tax information were issued monthly and posted to our website. For February and March, the 3 Detroit casinos reported $217 million in monthly aggregate revenue and paid $17.5 million in gaming taxes to the state of Michigan. In addition, they reported paying $25.8 million to the city of Detroit in wagering taxes and development agreement payments. Fantasy contests. For the months of January and February 2022, fantasy contest operators reported total adjusted revenue of $2.5 million and paid taxes of $208,000. Revenue from the Lawful Sports Betting Act and the Lawful Internet Gaming Act for January through February 2022, $301 million total gross receipts, $234.9 million in adjusted gross receipts. Taxes paid to the state of Michigan was $42.4 million in tax payments, and payments to the city of Detroit was $12.1 million in taxes and fees. Tribal operators payments for January through February 2022, $4.5 million in payments to the tribes. Occupational licensing. Since the board's February 15th meeting, the employee licensing section completed the required background investigation of 162 pending level 1 and level 2 occupational license applications, 75 level 3 license applications, and 546 license renewal requests pursuant to board resolution number 2002-02. I have already approved the 546 renewal requests and the 75 level 3 applications as recommended by the employee licensing section. The remaining recommendations regarding the 162 pending level 1 and level 2 occupational license applications will be considered by the board as part of the business agenda for today's meeting. A list of the recommendations to be considered by the board at today's meeting was already sent to you. Disassociated persons list. On October 16, 2020, Governor Whitmer signed Public Act 225, allowing disassociated persons to request removal from the lifetime ban after 5 years on the disassociated persons list. Currently, we have 4,195 individuals on the disassociated persons list. As of March 31st, 2022, the board has received 979 applications seeking removal from the disassociated persons list. Board staff has approved 850 requests. Note, of the 850 requests, 24 have requested placement back on the list. And we have denied 58. The remaining 71 applications are currently under review. The denials are due to either the applicants not being eligible or they did not respond to admissions letters sent to them by the agency. Responsible Gaming Database. On January 22nd, 2021, the Michigan Gaming Control Board authorized online gaming and online sports betting under the Lawful Internet Gaming Act and the Lawful Sports Betting Act. Other respective acts, both respective acts creates a statewide responsible gaming database. As of March 31st, 2022, the board has received 161 applications requesting placement in the responsible gaming database. 135 app participants have been placed on the internet gaming list, and 125 have been placed on the internet sports betting list. 23 applications received were incomplete and have been returned for additional information. 3 applications are pending processing. The platform operators report that over 10,000 citizens have self-excluded themselves from various platforms. With the addition of the Responsible Gaming Database, we have established a Responsible Gaming section within the Casino Operations Division. We continue to collaborate our efforts with the Department of Health and Human Services, Lottery, and the Attorney General's Office on how best to expand our resources in helping problem gamblers. Waiver of criminal convictions. Since our last meeting, February 15, 2020, we have issued 11 waivers for criminal convictions. Minor citations. Since the February 15th meeting, 2 minors in the casino citations have been issued. Michigan State Police. In the report you have in front of you, there's a section on the activities of the state police as well as their number of open positions. Since the information includes confidential investigations of persons and crimes at the casinos, I'm not going to address in a public forum, but please review at your convenience. Some notable items that has occurred since the last board meeting. Multi-state poker agreement. I'd like to take a moment to explain the multi-state poker agreement due to recent media reports. In December 2020, Governor Whitmer signed legislation that would allow Michigan to enter into a multi-state poker agreement, which will allow internet gaming licensees to pool poker players across states. Currently, 3 states comprise a multi-state internet gaming agreement: New Jersey, Nevada, and Delaware. After discussions with these other states, Michigan formally requested to join the agreement and submitted proposed changes to make the agreement consistent with Michigan law. For example, our law requires the board, represented by the executive director, to join the agreement on behalf of the state, while some other states require the governor to join the compact or join the agreement. Our law limits multi-state internet gambling to poker, while other states are allowed to offer other casino games such as blackjack. We finally received a formal response last Wednesday evening inviting us to join the agreement. We are reviewing the revised agreement now to make certain it is consistent with Michigan's law. While some news reports have indicated that we have joined the agreement, we have not done so, and won't be proceeding until the Attorney General's Office has reviewed all relevant documents. We have concluded that joining the agreement is consistent with Michigan law. We hope to have this completed shortly. Finally, assuming we do enter the agreement, multi-state poker will not happen immediately. Licensees interested in offering multi-state poker in Michigan still must provide some additional information and receive additional approvals for matters such as internal controls, occupational licenses, and platform and game technology. A full list of considerations can be found on our website. I want to update the board on the recent Lansing raids that occurred. The Game Control Board staff assisted Lansing PD Police Department with closing 2 suspected illegal gambling locations. That relationship has been working very well, and it's a good example of law enforcement and the Michigan Gaming Control Board working together to address a common interest. These two locations are unique because of the number of actual slot machines they had in their possession. 82 machines were confiscated and $91,532 in suspected gambling proceeds were seized from this location. I would like to thank all the staff involved in this operation. We will continue to investigate and work with the AG's office to prosecute these illegal gambling locations. I recently had a meeting with the Michigan Association of Problem Gamblers. I would like to share a little about that meeting I had with this organization. One of their major initiatives they are working on currently is an inpatient 30-day treatment program for problem gamblers. They fund this program with membership dues, donations to their organization, and annual fundraising dinner that they host. Unfortunately, for the past few years, though, that dinner has been canceled due to the pandemic. I am pleased to report that I was advised by the organization, two of our licensees have made donations to this organization, and I hope to report back to this body about more licensees donating in the near future. I want to applaud the gaming industry for being proactive and getting behind this problem gambler organization. The board's responsible gaming section will be collaborating with the Michigan Association of Problem Gamblers on producing responsible gambling messaging material as well. On May 17th, I will be celebrating my first year as executive director of this great agency. I must admit it's been a challenging year, but expected to be challenging. Most people see me as a pretty laid-back person with a great smile, and that's true most of the time. However, I'm a person who pushes the envelope all the time. I want solutions outside the box and quickly. If you tell me no, I want to know why, and why aren't you saying yes? I have pushed my executive team, they have pushed their managers, and they have pushed their staff to accomplish the missions and goals of this agency. Soon, we will be developing our new strategic plan to take us into the future. But I want to take a moment to thank an incredible team I have supporting me day in and day out. So I'm going to have the executive staff stand. Bob Simon, Dave Murley, Kurt Steinkamp, Carla Schulte, Tina Griffiths, Jasmine Tompkins, Diane Brown, and Derek Mathis. And I don't know if our student is in here. We do have a student assigned to the executive staff to us right now. Kiara Lee, she's not here right now. But I wanted to have all of you stand because I wanted to personally thank each of you for the sacrifices you all do on behalf of this agency. I know that you all work on your vacation when you're supposed to be on vacation. I know that you all work when you're on medical leaves. I know you all work when you're ill, because I see the emails, I receive the telephone calls, and I just want to say thank you all for putting up with me. Not over yet, we got 5 more years, right? But I just wanted to thank you all for all your hard work and what you do on behalf of me. So thank you all very much.
Thank you, sir.
In closing, I would like to remind everyone that gambling in any form is for entertainment purposes only. If you or a loved one have a gambling problem, please call the state's 24-hour toll-free helpline at 1-800-270-7117 for assistance with treatment only. You also may visit our website at www.michigan.gov/MGCB for information on self-exclusion programs, including the Disassociated Persons List and the Internet Gaming and Sports Betting Responsible Gaming Database. Or call the MGCB's Responsible Gaming section at 1-888-223-3044. Thank you, Madam Chair. That concludes my report.
Thank you very much for your report. Congratulations on making your way to that one-year mark on May 17th. And I want to say congratulations and much appreciated to your leadership team who have supported you in that, and that was really a nice tribute. So congratulations. Any questions for Mr. Williams? Okay, we'll move into our items of business, and the first item of business is to consider the Casino Operations Division's recommendation regarding Level 1 and Level 2 occupational license applications. The board's employee licensing staff has completed the background investigations of 162 Level 1 and Level 2 occupational license applicants since the board's last regular public meeting. All board members have been provided a copy of Exhibit 1, which summarizes the staff's recommendations to grant applications for the reasons specified in the related background investigation reports. Are there any questions? Board Member Lambert Bounds, could we please have a motion to approve the occupational license applications as listed and recommended in Exhibit 1?
So moved.
Is there support?
Support.
Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? That motion is passed. Thank you very much, and orders will be issued accordingly. The next item is consideration of the Executive Director's report and Licensing Investigations Division's recommendation regarding the pending operator license request of Grand Traverse Band Economic Development Corporation. Each board member has been provided with a copy of the report prior to today's meeting. The applicant was given notice that the board would consider its operator's license requested today's meeting. Board staff is present to answer any questions board members may have regarding the request. Are there any questions? Board Member Davis, may we please have a motion to consider the operator license application as recommended?
So moved.
Is there support for the motion?
Support.
Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Well, that motion is approved and orders will be issued accordingly. The next item is consideration of the Executive Director's reports and Licensing and Investigations Division's recommendations regarding the pending supplier license application request of Acres Manufacturing Company, Evolution US, LLC, Mask Publishing, Inc., SG Gaming, Inc., DBA Scientific Games, and Sports Gambling Guides. Each board member has been provided with copies of the reports for review prior to today's meeting, and each applicant was given notice that the board would consider its supplier license request at today's meeting. And board staff is present to answer any questions board members may have regarding the request. Are there any questions? Board Member Palms, may we please have a motion to approve the supplier license applications as recommended?
So moved.
Is there support?
Support.
Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion is approved and orders will be issued accordingly. The next item is consideration of the Executive Director's reports and Licensing and Investigations Division's recommendations regarding the pending license renewal request of Cadillac Travel, Inc., Camig Limited, Carmela Foods Distributing, Inc., Detroit Spectrum Painters, Inc., Eagle Star, Inc., DBA Eagle Star Equipment, Every Payments, Inc., Halifax Security, Inc., DBA North American Video, Interblock Luxury Gaming Products, DD, DBA Interblock DD, with new key persons Heather Rollo, David Quick, IB OCM Fotico, Jordan Cruz, Matt Wilson, and OCM Luxembourg, Baccarat Bidco. Lovdas Enterprises, Inc., DBA Lovdas Limousines, MRP Supply, Inc., Renaissance Man Food Services, LLC, SG Gaming, Inc., DBA Scientific Games with new key person Hamish Roy McLennan, SMS Staffing Solutions, Inc., Surveillance Systems Integration, Inc., DBA Surveillance Systems Incorporated, Tom Nasseri and Son, Inc., and Universal Hotel Supply. Each board member has been provided with copies of the reports for review prior to today's meeting, and each applicant was given notice that the board would consider its supplier license renewal request at today's meeting. Board staff is present to answer any questions board members may have regarding the request. Are there any questions? Board Member Lambert Bounds, may we please have a motion to approve the supplier license renewals as recommended?
So moved.
Is there support?
Support.
Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? That motion is approved and orders will be issued accordingly. The next item is consideration of the Executive Director's report and Licensing and Investigations Division's recommendations regarding the pending request for approval of new key persons of Boom Shakalaka DBA Boom Sports, Green Tube USA LLC, Novomatic Americas Sales LLC, the United States Playing Card Company. Each board member has been provided with copies of the reports for review prior to today's meeting, and each applicant was given notice that the board would consider its request at today's meeting. Board staff is present to answer any questions board members may have regarding the request. Are there any questions? Board Member Davis, may we please have a motion to approve the applications for new key persons as recommended?
So moved.
Is there support?
Support.
Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion is approved and an order will be issued accordingly. The next item is consideration of the Licensing and Investigations Division's recommendations regarding the pending transfers of interest of supplier licensees. Green Tube USA, LLC, Interblock Luxury Gaming Products, DD, DBA Interblock, DD, and Novomatic Americas Sales, LLC. Each board member has been provided with a copy of the report for review prior to today's meeting, and the licensee was given notice that the board would consider the request at today's meeting. Are there any questions from board members? Board Member Palms, can we have a motion to approve the transfers of interest as recommended?
So moved.
Is there support?
Support.
Thank you. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion is approved and orders will be issued accordingly. The next item to consider is the Casino Operations Division's recommendation regarding the acknowledgement of violation of occupational licensee Tiffany Doggett. Each board member has been provided with a copy of the report for review prior to today's meeting, and the licensee was given notice that the board would consider the recommendation regarding the acknowledgement of violation at today's meeting. I'd like to ask at this time Assistant Attorney General Bethany McCune to come forward to briefly summarize the facts involved.
Good morning and thank you. This is a disciplinary action that was taken against an occupational licensee. During the renewal process, there was a failure to cooperate. There was a lying on an application for a license, and that goes to the suitability of the occupational licensee for a license. Thankfully, these issues have been resolved, but it doesn't change the fact that it happened, and we have therefore gone to a hearing. She was present at the hearing, and you do have a copy of the proposal for decision in front of you from that hearing, and we would ask that you accept and adopt that proposal for decision. It is a $250 fine, and there's a little difference in this one. If she doesn't pay it within the time allotted, which is, I think, 21 or 60 days, her license gets suspended until she does pay it. So we thought that was fair to ask for at the hearing, and we would, your order, accept and adopt that recommendation of the hearing officer.
Thank you for the report. Is Ms. Doggett or her representative on the call and wishing to address the board? If so, please come forward and identify yourself for the record. I'd like to note for the record that the licensee, neither the licensee or representative is present. Are there any questions from board members? Board Member Lambert-Bounds, may we have a motion to accept the acknowledgement of violation as recommended?
So moved.
Is there support?
Support.
Is there any discussion?
And adopt the proposal for decision as opposed to the acknowledgement of violation.
Yes, so looking over, is that acceptable? Board Member Lambert-Bounds?
Yes, that is.
And for the support?
Support, yes.
Yes, we have amended that. Any other discussion? If not, all those in favor of the motion as amended, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion is approved, and an order will be issued accordingly. Okay, we move down to other business, and we do have one item for consideration. There is a request to move the next scheduled public meeting to June 7th of 2022. Is there a motion to support that? Board Member Davis?
So moved.
Is there support?
Support.
It's been moved and supported. Is there any discussion? If not, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion is approved. We'll move on to public comment. We're now at the point in the board's meeting where members of the public may come forward and offer comments regarding the business of the board. I'd like to look at Ms. Diane Brown. Any request?
No, there hasn't been.
Okay, we have no request. And I would like the record to note that. And as we mentioned, the next scheduled public meeting will now be Tuesday, June 7th, 2022 at 9:30 a.m. Next, we will consider a motion to go into closed session pursuant to Section 8H of the Open Meetings Act to receive notification of persons placed on the disassociated persons list since the board's last closed meeting. Since the board's February 15, 2022 public meeting, several applications have been received from individuals requesting to be placed on the board's disassociated persons list as part of their treatment for compulsive gambling problems under Section 25 of the Michigan Gaming Control and Revenue Act. The Act and Board Resolution Number 2001-06 require the board to be provided with confidential notification of the names of all individuals placed on the disassociated persons list since the board's last closed session. Board Member Davis, may we have a motion to go into closed session?
So moved.
Is there support?
Support.
Any discussion? Hearing none, we do need to take a roll call vote on this.
On the motion to go into closed session following this portion of today's public meeting, all those in favor say aye, opposed nay. Chairwoman Forte?
Aye.
Board Member Palms?
Aye.
Board Member Lambert-Bounds?
Aye.
Board Member Davis?
Aye.
Thank you. That motion has been approved. And we will now go into closed session. Okay, at this point in time, we're going to resume the open meeting, and I'd like to ask from board members, our next and only, I think our last item of business is to approve minutes of the board's February 15, 2022 closed session. Board members have been provided with a copy of the prepared minutes of the board's last closed session, which was held February 15, 2022, for review prior to today's meeting. Do board members have any corrections, additions, or deletions to the prepared minutes? Board Member Pauls, is there a motion?
So moved.
Is there support?
Support.
Any discussion? All in favor of the motion, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion has been approved. And our final item is motion and vote to adjourn. Board Member Lambert Bounds, can we have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Is there support?
Support.
Okay, and I assume if there's any discussion, it would be, okay, we are adjourned. Thank you.
Thank you.